there and welcome to another 5K everyday row. It's time for some Friday fun because maybe you're here to join me and row 5K or around about 22 minutes on the rowing machine, or maybe you're here to see Zwift. Okay, so Zwift is a cycling app. I'm going to row, I'm going to make this move, but I'm going to talk about how that works when we get into the row. So if you are here for this, then why not sit down on a rowing machine, watch this video, row along with me while I talk about Zwift, and you'll get a great workout. Fantastic. So let's get our machines set up first. And what I want you to do is look at resistance, drag factor, whatever you have in front of you on your machine, and set it to a point where you feel nicely connected to the machine. You feel the stroke, but you don't have to heave and tug at it, all right? If you need spinach before you're rowing, it's probably a bad thing. Next up, go to your foot straps, your foot stretch, your height, and set them so that you're able to get into the front of the machine. I always get that line wrong. The front of the machine with your shins vertical. I don't know why it's so difficult to say foot straps and foot stretchers. Maybe I need new teeth. Anyway, the ballpark here is that the straps should cover the balls of your feet, the widest part of your feet, and that allows you that flexibility into the front, right? So with our machines all set up, we will get into this row in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, look at this. So, I'll quickly do the housekeeping for the row first, and I'll let you revel in how good Zwift looks and the fact that I'm moving. This is a gentle row, okay? So I do this at round about 20 strokes per minute at, well, if you want to talk RPE, it's probably around about RPE 4 out of 10 effort. I'll cover the 5K in about 21 minutes. So, the first thing that you're going to notice is one downside to using Zwift to row with, is that there's nothing really to correlate my rowing and the cycling, okay? So that's me hit 500 meters cycling, but I've only been rowing for 1 minute. If I could row 500 meters in 1 minute. So really, Zwift is here. I mean, you can tweak. I'll tell you how I've connected it in a minute. But you can tweak the settings to have like a bias that would actually make my cyclist a lot slower, and to try and kind of make it feel a little bit more like I'm covering the distance on the bike that I would be on the rowing machine. However, I have also kind of set myself up into a bit of my own bind because I'm using this big monitor on the machine in front of me. I can't see the PM5 on my Concept 2, so if I was able to see that, I would have my rowing data. But I know that it takes me 21 to 22 minutes to row 5K in these 5K everyday rows, because this is the 21st of them, and the previous 20 have taken between 20 and 22 minutes. So I'm going to row for 22, and then you know me, I'm going to talk for a few more minutes at the end of it. So hopefully between the intro, the row, and the outro, and maybe if you're used to this series, maybe you loaded up the row and you're rowing through the adverts as well, in order to give yourself enough time to do the 5K. What I'll do though, is once I get to the end of this 22-minute row, I'll tell you how far I got. Although no, I do tend to soft paddle, don't I? Oh, whatever. Anyway, right, so apologies to those who are here to try and find out how you connect. But what I'm using is an app called Road Biker. ROWED for road. I actually thought it dropped the D, so I was searching on my phone to try and find that app. And kept missing it. But I found it eventually by a guy called James Terrell. And so what it does is you connect the Concept 2's PM5, has to be a PM5 I'm afraid, to the Road Biker app on your phone. And then when you load up Zwift, when it says about connections, you select your phone. So for me, it came up John's iPhone. And you can see that really all it's doing is sending the watts that I'm rowing at. So I'm rowing at 224, 223 watts. And it sends that to Zwift as though I'm on an indoor bike. It doesn't take my strokes per minute, or maybe there was something I had to set up to make that happen. But I can connect my heart rate, so you can see that. But like I said, it's really just as a way to, like, if you do have Zwift, maybe you're a runner, because you can basically get two profiles. You get a cycling profile. By the way, I apologize to all the podcast people. It just dawned on me. You're going to be like, oh, don't care. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about other stuff in a minute. I'm almost done on Zwift. You get two profiles, a running profile and a cycling profile. And what a lot of cyclists do is they use the running profile for their rowing, if they row, of course. And that way it keeps their cycling meters pure. But like I say, it's an interesting way to have a visual to keep you distracted, that if you're already paying for it and you don't really care about the fact that you are cycling instead of rowing, then it's a solution. Honestly, I would still stick with Xer, which is the other app I tend to show off a lot and I do my Sunday group rows with, or Immerse You Row. Those two apps are great for this kind of digital virtual world. But still, it's a bit of fun. So there you go. So Road Biker is the app you need as a halfway house. I did try, was it Q Domyo's Zwift? But I couldn't get it. I got the connection from the PM5 to the app working okay, but weirdly, Q Domyo's, even though it's meant to, its whole point is it's meant to then connect to Zwift, I couldn't get it to connect. So that's why I'm using Road Biker. Road Biker. So there we go. End of chat. So we're 8.5 minutes in. Let's do our quick technique checkup. And Paul was asking me yesterday about whether I've changed my focus or the way I talk about technique, because I've started to talk about it from the back of the stroke? And the answer to that is yes. Because the point when the handle touches your chest at the back of the stroke, everything until you push your legs again is about setting up that next stroke. So there's no point starting talking about the stroke at the front because it's too late by then. So I'll go quick, don't worry. So handle taps into your chest at sternum height at the back of the stroke. Then let it come away. It should bounce off your chest almost. The same pace you pull it in at, let it come back out at. So you're not throwing it out like a hot potato. Nice and smooth. And then as the handle comes away, sit up on the seat. Okay? Reset that posture. Handle posture. And then, as the handle continues, you start your forwards tilt. Whee! And as you are almost in your forwards tilt, so there's still momentum of the forwards movement of your arms and back, you bend your knees. You use that momentum and your knee bend to roll to the front of the machine. It's not about tugging on the foot straps. Use that momentum. Find the flow for hands away, forwards tilt, knees bend. And then keep rolling. Keep on rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Hey, another song on my repertoire. I'll add that to Bon Jovi. Keep on rolling. Rolling on the river. That's not gonna sound good. Rowing karaoke. What other songs can you think of that John can sing about rolling? Been a long time since I rock and roll. No, that doesn't really work. What does? Because like, rock and roll. Been a long time since I rocked and rolled. If I can't entertain myself, who else? How am I supposed to think I'm entertaining you? Thank you so much. Look at the wee smile on my face. I would not, at this time in the morning, I would not have this big stupid grin on my face if it wasn't for making this video for you today. So, listen to Led Zepplin. Rock and roll into the front. No tugging on the foot straps. Sensible, John, sensible, come on. And roll until your shins are vertical. And then, if you've got the forwards tilt and your arms straight, before you bend your knees, you should just hit the front of the machine, because you're in the perfect position before you bend your knees. Neutral arms, forwards tilt. So there shouldn't really be any movement of your back or arms as you roll to the front. So the moment your shins are vertical, you can push the machine away, push. And really, I want you to think for 1 or 2 strokes here about pushing. Really try and send the machine through the wall or the window or the person in front of you. That's where the power comes from. So if you want to row faster, technique is the #1 thing to look at. Then power. Then stroke rate. And you get that power in by pushing the machine away while keeping your arms straight and a forwards tilt. That sends the power from the legs through the body into the arms, and you hang off the handle because you're holding the handle with a loose grip, fingers hooked over it, shoulder width. I know we're 15 minutes in, so it's a bit late to be talking about handle setup, but take a look. If you have a death grip on the handle, ease up, hook your fingers over it. And if you find your hands are more towards the middle of the handle, widen them, go for shoulder width. That creates the kind of tensile hanging. Tensile, is that right? You're basically hanging off your ligaments if you do this right. Same way as if you're hanging from a pull-up bar. You don't pull very slightly against it. You hang properly, straight arms. That's what's going on here. So push. Then halfway through the stroke, swing your back. So legs drive. Once they get to about halfway, that's when you finally swing your back over your hips from that forwards tilt to a backwards tilt. And then, as you start that swing, that is when you finally pull in your arms. Get the handle in to sternum height, elbows through your sides. If you need a slight outwards flare of your elbows to keep your wrists flat, then please do. And that's it. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Let the handle bounce off your chest again. Rinse and repeat. I know, on the one hand, as a viewer, listener, you might be like, oh, come on, man, you're always talking technique. But like I said before, when I'm talking technique, I'm really trying to coach myself through my own stroke. I mean, I was finding I was missing the handle connection in that section just then. It's because I was over compressing and dropping my hands too low. But it's also because it's really important to row with an okay technique in terms of power, efficiency, injury prevention. And it's really easy for your mind to drift, especially when I'm talking away to you here. My mind drifts. My technique definitely gets worse when I'm talking about anything that isn't technique related. I need to focus on it. So that's why I talk about it each time. So I'm not going to apologize. Hopefully I can make it interesting enough say it in a slightly different way, sing you a song. It's not like I have a script that I need to follow. Which actually brings me to today's plans. I'm going to finish this row, edit it, upload it, and then pack everything up and head back to Castle's gym to try and sort out the on-screen stuff for a couple of my row videos. So I did try a couple of days ago, but due to flickering fairy lights, I didn't even bother sending it to them. It was useless. So I'm going back today and I'll try to film 2 more. But this time, I will make sure I am properly hydrated so that I can be on point in terms of the stuff I'm talking about. So I was so dehydrated last time. My head was all over the place. Which actually, that then feeds into the video I watched yesterday. I uploaded a short about this actually, but I'm a big fan of the fitness influencer and PT James Smith. He was don't really know what his provenance is, but he was a jiu-jitsu athlete and now seems to be making very entertaining videos about fat loss and the supplement market and stuff. And he put one out yesterday, kind of just putting his finger on the question, is the electrolyte supplement market built upon a myth? Do we need to be shoveling down 6 grams of sodium during and after every workout? I think it's 6 grams that, no, is it maybe around 2.5 grams that the Builder supplement says you need. And he's got a scientist guy who basically says, no, you don't. However, this is off the back of decades of science saying you do. So if you'll excuse the phrase, you'll need to take that video with a pinch of salt until more studies and evidence comes along. Okay, one more. So that's me at 22 minutes. But I am going to keep on soft rowing for a few minutes. Apologies if my stroke rate has changed if you're following along with me. But I'm just going to spend 3 or 4 minutes just to, mostly just to help anybody who is trying to row 5k today, give you a bit more time. Because I know some of you may have blasted. I mean, I just did 12.5k according to Zwift. I'll tell you what I did. Once I'm done, once I get to 25, I'll stop, okay? And then I'll tell you what the actual distance was. I'll need to know that so that I can enter it into the Concept 2 logbook anyway. As part of the virtual team challenge, all meters count, which actually one of the good things about the MyRow platform that I'm going to be making videos on later today is that connects to the Concept 2 logbook, so I don't have to worry about it. It automatically uploads. Most apps do, to be fair. Can't really think of any app that doesn't. Maybe the Averon app. I don't think that uploads to the Concept 2 logbook, but we'll see. Anyway, right, so I can't remember what I was talking about before. Oh, it's the supplements thing. Yeah, so take a look at his video. I mean, I talk about it in the short that I uploaded yesterday, and that has the link to the specific video. But it is interesting. Basically, it's built upon the premise that most people overeat salt. Ooh, that's nice. I've hit 100k. Most people eat too much salt anyway. So that's what 3.3 is a recommended daily intake. And most, well, he is saying most Americans, so yeah. So kind of just saying you probably don't need to. But the only thing is what it says, to finish on this, is that they are talking about intra-workout, taking in electrolytes while you're working out. It may be the electrolyte rebalance is still important afterwards, even if what they're talking about is correct. So this is why I'm saying one video doesn't mean stop taking electrolytes, but it might make you investigate some more, open your eyes to the concept that maybe, as we've done it for 25, maybe because the people doing the science currently on why we should be taking electrolytes are the people who are selling us electrolytes, then maybe there's a pinch of salt. It's like, well, this isn't the same, but I'll say it because it's annoyed me slightly. Mizuma Mobile, right? I've had an iPhone 13 Pro, which I wasn't using, so I sent it to Mizuma Mobile. They said they'd give me £250 for it. So it's been in the case. I figured it's been well cared. Certainly shouldn't be any scratches or anything on it. They've had it for like a week or so. Got an email this morning saying, due to the scratches on the case and dirt on the lens, we are only going to give you £90. Now, they have it. There's no way for me to check it at this point. So I either reject the offer, send it somewhere else maybe, or try and sell it privately, who knows. Or what they're possibly counting on is that I go, all right, okay, I don't care. I'm not going to go through that hassle, and I just accept their offer. Could well have scratches and dust on the lens. I'm not saying, but it is kind of like the we buy any car thing where they say they'll give you £5,000 for your car, and then you take it there, and some guy walks around and going, oh, you've got your finagle there's hanging off, and oh, look, I can smell, and then suddenly they're only giving you £1,000 for it. So, yeah, so it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like when you are in the hands of people who are just trying to make money, then they will do anything to just make as much money as they can off you. And the question is, are the supplement companies doing that? Should we all just stick to, like, basically what he says at the end of the video is you should just basically get a glass of orange juice, put in a little pinch of table salt in order to rebalance a little bit, and that's enough. You shouldn't really need to be spending all of this money on proper kind of electrolyte powders. So he's not even selling anything. I think if he was coming off the back of it and he was like saying, so buy the Neutronic whatevers, then you go, all right, oh, hang on. But he's just saying, have a glass of orange juice and a pinch of salt. So anyway, take his video with a pinch of salt. Take what I'm talking about with a pinch of salt. I'm not a scientist. I don't have any real knowledge in that kind of world when it comes to supplements and stuff. I'm literally just rabbiting what I saw on YouTube yesterday. But the important thing is that we watch something and we read something on the internet and we kind of go, that's interesting. But then we would just leave it there. That's interesting. It doesn't make it the truth. Just because it's interesting doesn't make it the truth. So you then have to move on with your life. We all know how the internet works, don't we? You don't need me teaching you how to suck eggs. But that said, lots of people do take everything they see on the internet as real. So, right, I'm done. Here's me saying I was going to stop at 25 minutes, and I clearly didn't. So, or 26 minutes, whatever it was. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day ahead of you. It's a Friday here. Don't know when you're rowing it, but for me, it's a Friday, which means a spaghetti bolognese night for me, which I'm very much looking forward to. Every Friday night in the Stevenson household and the RowAlong household, we have spaghetti bolognese. It's just a routine. It's a thing that we do. It's yeah. And I think, yeah, routine's a good thing. Remember my mum saying, never get into a strict routine, never get into this kind of like, I will wake up at 9, I will read until 10, I will blah, 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 blah. And I think she was right about that. But I think that there's familiarity that works well for you, like these rows, okay? Look at how that all fell together. That if you can come back to these, do them as often as you can, then it'll be good for you. Trust me, that's 22 minutes is not going to be bad for you, unless you were rowing with rubbish technique and you've now got lower back pain, in which case, listen to me row with a good posture. All right? So have a great day, have a great weekend. Tomorrow I am doing a community row on the MyRow platform, which is just closed to MyRow. Nobody else can join in unless you've got their system. And then on Sunday, I am doing the Exer group row. It's the 9 o'clock in the morning one, rise and row with RowAlong, as long as they program it in, because right now they haven't programmed it in. Get your thumb out, Maxim. It'll be there, don't worry about it. Shower, eat, love, bye. No, have a shower, have something to drink, have something to eat, find someone that it means something to, tell them you love them, and then have a fantastic day, fantastic weekend. Until the next row, please look after yourselves. Take care, row well, be well. Bye-bye.